I'm going to set up some lights. Steve and I started taking pictures together when we came out here one time to do Milky Way shots. The first time Steve ever shot any Milky Way photos. And it was a beautiful evening.
Yes, it was.
We got some bugs flying around.
Well, I brought the off, but the off's in the truck.
I'm setting up lights. We're going to add the waterfall. I wouldn't call that a waterfall, but we're going to add that in the picture. And I think you're right, with 20-minute exposure, it may be better than we think.
All right, so give me an idea of the strategy here. So just
okay.
to give people at home, I guess, visual what we got. This is a Paddy Creek Wilderness. Campground's over our left shoulder here, and there's a little low water bridge.
This is about 40 minutes from home.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
And it's a beautiful area. This is September 2nd. We both got on photo pills, and the Milky Way should line up someplace here. I'm seeing a vertical composition for this. My exposure will probably be a 15-second exposure at 2.8. I'm going to focus on the stars. So this may be soft in the foreground unless I shoot 2 exposures and add them later in Lightroom or Photoshop. Do some stacking, but I'm going to set one light over on this edge and one light over there on the other edge.
Sorry, I was confusing the gimbal here. Anyway, and you're the pro. So what's the reason for setting the lights so far apart? I mean, when I was first doing photography as a little kid, the flash bulb was right on top of your camera.
And we called that splat flash back then.
Splat flash,
yeah,
okay.
You just splat the subject. The reason we want to spread the lights out is to get a little more texture in it. When you cross light something, you pick up a little more texture. Plus, Steve and I found out when we turn these on, they don't look real bright right now, but they are bright at night. So we're going to turn them down. A 20-second exposure, you don't need a lot of light on the foreground.
All right. As Mike said, I think, is that an eagle above us? Hawk? I don't know. It's probably a buzzard, which is a bad sign if the buzzard's looking at us, I believe. Anyway, this is the very first place Mike brought me. It's been a year now to show me how to do Milky Way photos, because I told him that I wanted to be like him. So here we are. And man, I've learned so much since then. Number one, I learned that my camera has a level on it. A year ago, I did not know. So when we were putting everything through the computer, everything was crooked. It looked like the water should have been running off the world. But yeah, setting up the tripod right now, and what I want, I'm concerned about ups and downs. If you get too low, then you can't tell where the water's coming from. I don't know if you can get too high. There is a dream of getting reflections of the stars in the water, but I've had poor luck of doing that, so I'm not even going to concern myself with it. But I do want the composition to have the ability for the water to go past those rocks that are way out there, flow toward the waterfall, come in, and have a place to land in front of us. So I want all that, plus, of course, the Milky Way in the background, which is why we have the wide angle lens, which Mike taught me just over a year ago into buying, and I'm not even sure if it comes off the camera, to be honest with you. I don't know if
it's the used one too.
Yeah, used one from KEH.
KEH.
Yep.
They need to sponsor us, Steve.
That'd be all right, because
we need a KEH sponsor if anybody from KEH follows this channel.
Yeah, I'll be happy to buy more stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So anyway, photo pills, we'll find out when the sun goes down, but we might have to scoot the whole works over there to the left a little bit. But right now it's just setting everything up.
I'm going to say the hardest part is the focus.
Yeah, I'm horrible at it. And so I'll turn my camera to infinity right now and then hope that's okay. And I will still try to find a star and focus on it, but chances are, the only time I've ever had luck was exactly a year ago, the first time out. And I thought, this is so easy. and turns out not.
So what's going to be your starting exposure, Steve?
Starting exposure is I get the aperture open as wide as I possibly can on this one.
Which is what on this one?
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
There we go, 4. And it'll be 20-second exposure, and I know that from having done this before.
What's your ISO?
Oh, ISO. Well,
I forgot how high we went. You do have to go high ISO.
Yeah, when I'm trying to find that star, I do go really, really high with it. But then I think on our last Milky Way shot, I think I got it down to 2200. And the photos were looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Because the lower the ISO, the less noise. I know you can denoise and dehaze in Lightroom, but I still think better ingredients, better pizza.
Always.
And so
always.
I try to go as low as I can, but my
I
camera's
think
an older
that
model.
saying's copyrighted. We may have to edit that out.
Well, or they can send us pizza. I'm good with that too.
So Steve's got his camera all set up here. He had a good idea. I'm going to turn you around here. He saw those trees way up there in the background. He's going to start his focus. At least he'll be close to it back then. Now on my camera, I can zoom in on a individual star. We had to hike a long ways. Right there's a truck. So Steve's all set up. This is the lights I brought. These are battery operated lights. Everybody, when they took the workshop, wanted to know what they were. I don't know what the brand name is, but it has a kind of a rheostat on the top of it. So we've learned that you dim them down. The first time we did this, we used the flashlight. And I was standing out in the middle of the water there, and Steve was using a powerful flashlight that he had. It turned out all right, but these lights give a more consistent output. You know, when you take pictures, you have to have a lot of soul. And we've got some right here. A little photo humor, very little. Steve's a smart guy here. And I say this, I probably said it in every video. He's got a reflective tape on his tripod. And I'm always falling over my bag. I got my bag behind me here. I'm going to put all my other stuff. Okay, when Steve and I first started shooting, Steve thought he had to upgrade his camera. But he's got a Nikon D7100. It's a DX format where mine's full frame. Some of his pictures look just as good as mine. You can't see a lot of difference. I can get away with a little more making mistakes. I have a little more latitude. Mine's a full frame. I'm shooting the Nikon D850 full frame version. I have to pay twice as much for lenses though. So both these cameras, when we put them on Facebook, you can't tell the difference. We got a little overzealous. We're here way too early. And again, I thought we'd have some sunset pictures, but this is a pretty deep little valley here, so there's no sun. I'm seeing clouds up here kind of moving in. Hope it doesn't block our Milky Way tonight. They're wispy, so we might be able to see the Milky Way through it.
Yeah, we just needed one little break in the whole thing. And
one little break. Well, Steve and I are killing time. It's still twilight. We got a long ways to go before it's dark enough. Our camera's across river. We're sitting here on the spillway, just waiting for it to get dark. I'm probably not going to record anymore, but if we get some decent pictures or if we get awful pictures, I'll put them on the video.
They're going to be great photos. We're
greatest ever.
Yep.
It looks like the clouds are kind of clearing off though. So
yeah, and like we said, in the hour window we have, we just need 20 seconds of opening.
That's right.
If you want to look at it that way.
For one. Yeah, he has a 20 second. I just need 15.
Oh, yeah. So you got a better chance.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what we get. So Steve went up to get his jacket. It is getting cool down here at the bottom. It's getting dark enough. We're starting to see skies, but if you look to the west, there's still twilight. So we got everything set up. We're ready to go.